Within this area, we have paranormal activity, the appearance of strange cryptids.
So the government are trying to hide this.
The presence of aliens isn't just limited to the frequent UFO sightings. Rather, artifacts, carvings, and other archaeological items that belong to alien civilizations that existed. Here are some evidence that actually proves aliens to be real. Unidentified cave relic. Within a cave that had been hidden for centuries, a team of explorers made a discovery that no one saw coming. They uncovered a statue, unlike anything ever seen before. It depicted a humanoid figure with long limbs and reptilian skin. Holding a staff, its posture gave off a sense of power, or maybe deep meditation. Archaeologists were left stunned, unable to place the artifact within any known civilization. The material didn't match anything from the area, and radiocarbon dating placed it in a time frame that shouldn't be possible. Some markings on the surface resembled constellations only visible from Earth thousands of years ago. Whoever made this, they might have known something we still don't. Great Pyramid precision. A couple visiting the Great Pyramid of Giza was amazed by what they had just learned. Each stone weighs around 2.5 tons, and the pyramid was built without modern machinery. The precision of the structure seemed impossible, with the pyramid's sides aligning almost perfectly with the cardinal directions. It is also a mathematical marvel, with its alignment being more accurate than even modern buildings. Some believe it was even more precise in ancient times. The location is just as fascinating. It sits at the Earth's geographic center. Speculation arises that the ancient builders possessed knowledge far beyond what we can imagine, perhaps using techniques or tools lost to time. Unearthed alien skull. At an excavation site in Mexico, archaeologists uncovered a skeleton buried deep beneath the earth. At first, it seemed like a typical ancient burial, with a decorative necklace of blue stones resting on its chest. But as they cleared away the dirt, they realized something was off. The skull was elongated, the bone structure unlike any known human remains. It didn't fit any recorded civilization. Researchers struggled to explain it, but the more they studied, the more questions arose. Authorities moved quickly to conceal the discovery, but the truth was already out. Unearthed alien skull. At an excavation site in Mexico, archaeologists uncovered a skeleton buried deep beneath the earth. At first, it seemed like a typical ancient burial, with a decorative necklace of blue stones resting on its chest. But as they cleared away the dirt, they realized something was off. The skull was elongated, the bone structure unlike any known human remains. It didn't fit any recorded civilization. Researchers struggled to explain it, but the more they studied, the more questions arose. Authorities moved quickly to conceal the discovery, but the truth was already out. Backyard bird relic. While clearing out his overgrown backyard, a man stumbled upon a strange bird statue buried beneath the weeds. Its design was unlike any modern carving. Its sharp, stylized features and weathered surface reminded him of ancient depictions of bird deities. Curious, he began researching and found eerie similarities to the Nazca lines in Egyptian carvings. The statue felt heavy in significance. If this was truly linked to ancient civilizations, what did it mean? And more importantly, who left it there? Alien skull discovery. In the depths of the Amazon jungle, tourists stumbled upon a strange discovery, a skull unlike anything they had ever seen before. It seemed to belong to an extraterrestrial civilization with markings that were completely foreign to anything known on Earth. Oddly, some of the mysterious signs on it resembled ancient Mayan symbols. This unsettling find quickly captured the attention of scientists and archaeologists worldwide. Ufologists in particular believe the skull is just the beginning of something much larger hidden beneath the surface. Secrets tied to ancient civilizations and perhaps even extraterrestrial contact. Ancient UFO relic. While most of us come across old clothes or forgotten trinkets while thrifting, one man found something truly bizarre. He purchased a mystery box, and inside was a strange disc-shaped object covered in intricate carvings. The item looked ancient, but what truly stood out was the odd head atop it. It had small removable statues surrounding the base. Some theorists suggested that this object might be a miniature UFO, or even a drone from extraterrestrial beings, with the spherical carvings possibly acting as gravitational controls. Humanoid find. In Mexico, deep inside an ancient Mayan cave, explorers found a figure that left them speechless. It had a huge head, tiny eyes, and a body that looked almost human, but not quite. Whatever this was, it had been there for centuries, frozen in time. The surface looked petrified, as if nature itself had preserved it. Mexico has a long history of strange sightings, glowing objects in the sky, unexplained encounters, and even ancient carvings that seem to show non-human figures. Could this discovery be more proof that something unearthly once walked the land? Ancient handbag symbol. Visitors at a museum were surprised to read about an artifact right in front of them, a shape that looked uncannily like a modern-day handbag. It appears in carvings, artwork, and crafts from cultures all over the world. Since the end of the Ice Age, handbags have shown up in the art of different civilizations throughout time. Once you notice it, it's hard to ignore. The question is, what did this symbol really mean in the ancient world? Some believe it's connected to the Anunnaki, extraterrestrial beings from the planet Nibiru. They're said to have arrived on Earth 450,000 years ago looking for gold. Could this symbol have something to do with them? Ancient alien artifact. While cleaning out his great-grandfather's old car, a man stumbled upon a strange artifact buried under dust and forgotten belongings. It looked ancient, carved from stone or clay, with symbols etched deep into its surface. The centerpiece was unsettling, a humanoid figure with an elongated head, large hollow eyes, and skeletal features. It resembled depictions of extraterrestrials. Scattered around it were circular and rectangular objects, covered in intricate carvings. Some believe these symbols hint at a lost civilization with knowledge beyond its time. This might be the proof of humanity's connection to something not of this earth. Pyramid UFO sightings. A tourist in Egypt caught a strange sight while visiting the pyramids. Above one of the hills, a flying object hovered, seeming to hover directly above the pyramid, almost as if it was retrieving something from the ancient structure. This strange encounter sparked heated discussions. Some believe aliens are connected to the pyramids. The object appeared to be an inverted pyramid, possibly hinting at extraterrestrial involvement in their creation. Others think it could have been checking something hidden within the pyramid. No one has the answers yet, but it's hard to ignore the thought that the pyramids might hold secrets far beyond our history. Alien bodies. During a public hearing in Mexico City, the bodies of alleged non-human beings were presented in front of Congress. The journalists and ufologists behind the presentation claimed these were fossilized remains of extraterrestrial individuals, dating back over 1,000 years. Some believe this discovery points to a hidden history of extraterrestrial encounters on Earth, challenging everything we thought we knew.
Tridactyls, tres dedos en manos, tres dedos en pie.
Ancient desert symbols. In the Arizona desert, a group of explorers stumbled upon a hidden canyon, thinking they were just looking for old artifacts. But what they found, well, it was far more interesting. On the canyon walls were thousands of strange symbols. They weren't like anything you'd expect. Figures with elongated heads, spirals, shapes that didn't quite fit. These weren't just random carvings. They told a story about beings from the sky, visitors who came, shared wisdom, and then disappeared without a trace. People back then swore these visitors brought knowledge and power. What did they teach? And why does no one speak of them anymore? It's a mystery that still leaves us guessing.
Here, having, for example, 3 fingers. You know, as far as I know, except for a couple of reptiles, there aren't any 3-fingered creatures.
Impossible crystal chamber. Way down in the earth, a group of miners stumbled upon something they never expected. Deep beneath layers of rock, they found a massive chamber. Definitely not something made with the tools we think they had. Whoever carved these tunnels wasn't just digging for survival. They were masters of the earth. They cut through rock with a precision that still baffles modern science. And here's the thing, if they could work in those depths, they had to have had some kind of light. But what kind? What could possibly have lit up those tunnels so far down? Nazca Mummy Mystery. Out in the dry, dusty land of Peru's Nazca region, a discovery in 2017 started a firestorm of debate. Mummified remains were unearthed, bodies with elongated skulls and 3 fingers on each hand and foot. Among them was a 23-inch body, but it was missing its head. The skeleton itself seemed off. The arteries weren't arteries, they were fibers. And if that wasn't strange enough, some of the bones contained metal implants, alloys like aluminum and copper that shouldn't have existed back then. Edfu Temple Secrets.
Every wall is absolutely covered in hieroglyphs and images.
In 2018, researchers visited the Temple of Edfu in Egypt, one of the most well-preserved ancient shrines. As they explored its vast stone walls, they realized it wasn't just a temple, it was a message from a lost civilization. The walls were covered in detailed hieroglyphs, recounting the origins of the world, Egypt's foundation, and events from a time before history. In the sacred chamber, a towering 12-foot granite stone marked humanity's beginning. The text spoke of powerful beings who shaped civilization, not as myths, but as real entities from beyond, possibly from the stars. These writings suggested this knowledge didn't belong to Egypt alone, but a much older, advanced civilization.
Here, in this sanctuary, the whole story of humanity's beginning, you know, its place in the stars and how it arrived here in the first place.
Quimbaya Airplane Mystery.
You find it only with fishes, but no animal anywhere has vertical fins.
In Colombia, archaeologists uncovered the Quimbaya artifacts, a collection of golden treasures from the Quimbaya civilization dating back to around 1000 CE. Among these, a few pieces stood out. Intricate designs resembling modern airplanes, the precision in their shapes, the aerodynamic features, and the clear wings and tails sparked curiosity. Some argue these were simply stylized depictions of insects or birds, but others speculate that the Quimbaya people might have known more than we think. Could it be that an ancient civilization, long before flight was even imagined, understood the concept of flying? Egyptian tech carvings. While documenting a wall panel in the Temple of Osiris, an Egyptologist made a surprising discovery. Among the rubble at her feet, she found markings etched into the stone, figures that resembled modern technology. Unlike typical hieroglyphs, these carvings depicted shapes that looked like a helicopter, a streamlined water vessel, and even what appeared to be a submarine. The precision of these images has sparked heated debates. Some believe they are simply overlapping inscriptions from different periods, while others speculate that they point to advanced knowledge lost to history. It's possible that the ancient Egyptians had access to technology far beyond what we understand, perhaps influenced by an unknown source or civilization. Hidden Egyptian Chamber. In an ancient Egyptian temple buried for centuries beneath layers of sand and stone, a discovery was made that was never meant to be seen. Researchers uncovered a hidden chamber, and at its center lay strange metallic discs, completely out of place in history. The walls were covered in carvings, hinting at knowledge far beyond what was believed possible. Shockingly, the discs were still functional, even after decades of being buried. The video of this discovery spread fast, despite efforts to erase it. Authorities tried to conceal the truth, but it was too late. What were they trying to hide? Something we're not ready to accept. Ancient hybrid statue. Archaeologists discovered a strange figure buried in the sand, dating back to 4000 BC. Its face had an odd, rounded shape, with features that looked strangely familiar, almost cartoonish, but the real mystery was its body. It wasn't human. It had the form of a camel, yet with 4 legs structured unlike any known species. The discovery left experts puzzled. Was this an artistic depiction of a forgotten creature, or a symbol of something far more mysterious? Some believe it was just an ancient carving, but others suspect it hints at knowledge lost to time, something history never recorded. Mysterious ringing rocks. Have Have you ever heard of a rock as hard as metal? In the Algerian desert, far from human settlements, an explorer and a few locals stumbled upon something bizarre. Scattered across the sand were rocks that rang like empty metal tanks when struck. The sound wasn't dull like an ordinary stone, it echoed almost musical. Scientists call them ringing rocks, but they still can't fully explain why they produce such sounds. While some believe it's a rare geological phenomenon, others claim these aren't just ordinary rocks. Some even link them to a petrified UFO, one that might have crashed millions of years ago. Wedge of Aiud.
Aluminum didn't come into existence until 1829. So where did the wedge come from?
In 1974, construction workers in Romania uncovered something strange while digging near the river Mureș. Buried 30 feet deep in the sand was a wedge-shaped object made of 89% aluminum along with 12 other elements. But aluminum wasn't discovered until 1829. How did it end up buried for centuries? Experts were baffled. Some believed it was part of an old machine, but the metal's softness didn't match industrial tools. Others noticed a thick crust on its surface, suggesting extreme age. Some even speculated an extraterrestrial origin. Despite years of study, its true history remains unknown.
Aluminum is one of the metals that's very common now, and we think of using it all the time, but it was a metal that humans worked with very late in our history.
Alien coin discovery. In June 2022, a man from Michigan found an unusual coin in a roll of quarters. Unlike any ordinary coin, it had an alien face carved onto it. He took it to a pawn shop where the dealer identified it as a hobo nickel, a hand-carved coin worth around $10, $20. But what if it was more than just an artistic creation? Some speculated it could be a relic from a time when extraterrestrials lived among humans, a forgotten piece of history hidden in plain sight. The man claimed the back of the coin held a secret, one that only its owner could see. Chichén Itzá mystery. Deep in the Yucatan Peninsula lies Chichén Itzá, the remnants of an ancient Mayan city that flourished from 750 to 1200 AD, but the site holds a mystery that continues to baffle researchers. In 1969, a researcher stood before the Grand Pyramid, El Castillo, carefully examining the ancient texts and carvings. Among the usual depictions of humans and animals, he found strange, unidentifiable figures. These beings didn't resemble any known animals or people. The discovery led him to wonder, was it mere imagination, or could the Mayans have encountered something beyond Earth? Some now believe that our ancestors may have had contact with extraterrestrials. Ancient electricity clue. Egyptian pyramids aren't the only things that amaze historians. Deep inside ancient temples, archaeologists found carvings that seem to hint they had electricity. One shows a figure holding a wire connected to a box, almost like an ancient power source. Another feature, the Jed pillar, is often linked to Osiris, but some believe it represents energy transmission. Even stranger, a nearby carving shows a mysterious figure holding knives, possibly symbolizing the risks of this lost knowledge. While some view these carvings as mere symbolism, others argue they point to an advanced understanding of energy that existed long before modern discoveries. If true, this knowledge may have played a crucial role in ancient civilizations before fading into history. Pyramid mystery.
When you're standing in front of it, you are confronted with the greatest mystery of all time.
Mainstream archaeologists believe the Great Pyramid was built around 2500 BC as a tomb for Pharaoh Khufu. But here's the thing, no one's ever found proof. No body, no coffin, no remains. That's where the mystery begins. Some believe grave robbers must have taken everything, but how could they explain the complete absence of any burial at all? Others argue that the pyramid wasn't just a tomb, it had to serve a bigger purpose. The truth is, we may never know, and that uncertainty makes the pyramid's true meaning one of the biggest mysteries of all time.
They are a tremendous expenditure of resources, and if not for a revered leader, they had to have had some benefit for the civilization that built them.
Meteorite watch. There are watches that are out of this world, and then there are watches made from something literally out of this world, a meteorite. At an exhibition, one visitor came across the asteroid watch by a luxury watchmaker. This unique timepiece was carved from a meteorite that had fallen in Argentina's asteroid belt. True to Greco-Geneve style, the watch featured their signature fluorescence process, making it shine like the astronomical wonder it was. With a white gold bezel, hieroglyphic engravings honoring predator and extraterrestrial elements, it wasn't wasn't just a watch, it was a cosmic masterpiece. UFO paintings. Among the remote mountains, geologists found strange paintings on the walls. Many depicted typical UFOs, while others showed humanoid creatures. While ancient cultures often used carvings and paintings to represent their everyday life or beliefs, these seemed different. They didn't fit the usual patterns. Could they be depicting an alien visit to Earth, or perhaps celebrating it? The mystery of these ancient images continues to puzzle experts. Ada skeleton. Back in 2013, a team of researchers from the University of California, San Francisco, along with members of the Stanford University team, studied an artifact discovered by archaeologists. Initially identified as a human female, genetic profiling revealed 64 mutations, many never seen before. Further analysis showed that these mutations had a profound impact on her skeletal system, leading to an unusually small stature and only 10 pairs of ribs. Most humans have 12. Some speculate that these features could point to a being from another world, similar to the fossils of extraterrestrial creatures rather than a human anomaly. Nazca tridactyls. Following the Congress, worldwide controversy has surrounded a dozen or so small, peculiar specimens, often referred to as the Nazca tridactyls, after the region in Peru where they are believed to have been taken by local tomb raiders. Recently, doctors claim to have removed a light metal implant from one of the new specimen's palms. The images show a mummified hand peeled back, revealing two of its metacarpal or palm bones, sparking even more curiosity about their origins and purpose. Three-fingered mummy. In the spring of 2017, Russian researchers discovered a three-fingered mummy in a Peruvian tomb, claiming that the figure was not human. The 5th century mummy had a unique anatomical structure unlike that of humans. Some speculate it could be a primitive human with an intentional or developmental deformity, while others believe it might be undeniable evidence of a non-human species. The claim that the figure may have extraterrestrial origins has sparked criticism, especially due to the strange straight-line fingerprints, unlike typical human ones. Grave discovery. A group of grave robbers were digging where they shouldn't. They thought they'd find treasure, but what they found was way worse. When their shovels hit something hard, they got excited, expecting a treasure, but when they brushed away the dirt, they were shocked. It was a body, but not human. Its skin was a strange blue, like something from outer space. The video they took later got leaked, showing the blue alien still buried in Nazca Cave, Peru. Now, no one knows how it got there, or what it really was. Paracas skull. It seemed like aliens had some specific connection with Peru. In a private collection, a skull was discovered that challenged everything known. Wrapped in its original funerary cotton, it belonged to a baby from the Paracas culture, dating back between 800 BC and 100 AD. But here's where it got strange. Despite being a newborn or at most 3 months old, the skull was massive, at least twice the size of a normal infant's. Its eyes were abnormally large, the nose and mouth incredibly small. Some argued it could have been cranial deformation, but that took years, not months. If this wasn't caused by head binding, then what explained it? Scientists had their theories, but none fully answered the questions. Alien remains. A mummified, huge skull found in Peru could potentially prove the existence of aliens. The strangely shaped head, almost as big as its 50 centimeters body, has baffled anthropologists. It was one of 2 sets of remains discovered in the city of Andahuaylilas. Spanish and Russian scientists who examined the remains claimed they were actually those of an alien. The eye cavities were far larger than those typically found in humans. There was also a soft spot in the skull called an open fontanelle, which is common in children during their first year of life. Yet the skull contained 2 large molars, typically found in much older humans. Hybrid fetus.
My mind is blown because inside this little museum is a 7 to 9 month old fetus.
In a small Bolivian village called Patapatani, a shocking discovery lay inside a tiny museum. A 7 to 9 month old fetus with an elongated skull. A radiologist from the US examined it closely. The bones appeared human, the ribs and limbs were normal, but the skull was unusually large, with a fontanelle positioned further back than normal. No known disease fully explained its shape. shape. He proposed two unsettling possibilities: extreme inbreeding or a hybrid birth between Homo sapiens and an unknown species. If the latter were true, it meant humans once bred with something not quite human. Antikythera mechanism. 115 years ago, divers discovered a chunk of bronze off a Greek island. It completely altered our understanding of human history. At first, the piece seemed like nothing more than junk, a rusted set of brass gears inside a decaying wooden box, resembling something you'd find in a maritime-themed dive bar. But further investigation revealed over 24 gears, perfectly calibrated, as though made by a Swiss watchmaker. This technology should have been from the 16th century, not from centuries before. Some speculate that the device may have come from an advanced alien civilization, offering proof that extraterrestrials might have had a hand in shaping our history. Monument mystery. Off the coast of Yonaguni, Japan, divers stumbled upon a remarkable underwater structure that has puzzled experts for decades. With flat surfaces, sharp corners, and what appear to be stair-like formations, some believe it to be the remnants of an ancient city, submerged over time. Others argue that the strange formations could simply be naturally occurring rocks. However, marine geologists have suggested that the site might be man-made stepped monoliths, possibly crafted by a lost civilization. The structure's design and precision have led some to speculate that it was the work of an extraterrestrial presence. Batman sculpture.
In tonight's Fact or Fiction, we're looking into a picture going around right now on social media.
A viral image has sparked intrigue across social media, showing what appears to be an ancient Mayan sculpture that bears an uncanny resemblance to Batman. With the superhero first appearing in 1939, some have speculated that the creators may have drawn inspiration from ancient designs. However, the reality is much less mysterious. The sculpture was actually crafted for a 2014 exhibit at the Mexican Museum of Design. While Mayan mythology does feature a bat god named Camazotz, traditional depictions of the deity bear little resemblance to the modern-day Batman. Nonetheless, the eerie similarity has led to endless speculation about potential ancient influences. Red Sea chariots. Lost pieces of ancient Egypt's history lay hidden beneath the Red Sea waves for thousands of years until one lucky diver uncovered them. While exploring the sea floor, the diver stumbled upon what appeared to be old chariot wheels scattered across the ocean floor. These wheels were discovered exactly where ancient writings describe Pharaoh's army crossing the Red Sea, a pivotal event in Egypt's history. Chariot wheels, essential for battle, were symbols of power in those times. Some speculate that these artifacts might have extraterrestrial connections. The discovery was further validated by other wheel-shaped formations found on both sides of the sea, adding layers to the ancient story. Submerged pyramid find. Divers recently made an incredible discovery beneath the waters off San Miguel de Cozumel, Mexico. They stumbled upon an ancient pyramid, submerged and hidden for who knows how long. The structure's complexity and precision seem far beyond the capabilities of ancient civilizations, raising questions about its true origin. Its design suggests something more, possibly from a force beyond human reach. This discovery has started wild theories, especially considering Mexico's long history of strange sightings, like the infamous UFO encounter over Mexico City in 1991. Some speculate that aliens might have played a role in its creation, or perhaps in its mysterious placement underwater. Baltic Sea spaceship. Spaceships aren't just found in the sky. One might be sitting at the bottom of the Baltic Sea. At least that's what many people thought when ocean explorers made an astonishing discovery. The Ocean X team's underwater radar detected a giant circular object 90 meters below the sea surface. This massive structure had straight edges and sharp corners, appearing completely out of place compared to the surrounding natural seafloor. Scientists remain baffled by this formation, while some speculate it could be the wreckage of a UFO or the remnants of an ancient building. Others suggest it's just an unusually shaped rock. Antarctic artifact.
It looks almost like an alien planet, and there are some who think it's hiding proof of aliens themselves.
In October 2020, a sharp-eyed investigator scanning satellite images of Antarctica came across something that immediately caught the attention of a guy. There, partially covered in ice, was a metallic-looking object. At first glance, it appeared to be a perfectly round saucer embedded in the frozen landscape. Upon zooming in, it became clear, a raised disc casting a shadow on the ice. Could this be the remains of an alien spacecraft hidden beneath the ice for thousands of years? Both Antarctica and Mars share harsh, sterile environments, almost devoid of life. If an extraterrestrial being needed to hide something, Antarctica would be the perfect place.
Could it be that this is a shuttle to go back and forth to Mars with some of the presumed bases that exist on the Red Planet?
Pyramid in Antarctica.
The ancient astronauts, and just maybe the earliest monuments of our own civilization came originally from Antarctica.
While it might seem impossible, the discovery of a mysterious disc-shaped craft in Antarctica has sparked a new wave of speculation. Scientists, after spotting this bizarre object embedded in the ice, began to wonder, could there be pyramids hidden beneath the frozen landscape as well? Pyramids, often linked to ancient civilizations, have been discovered in unexpected places around the world, from the plains of northern Peru to Indonesia, and even rumored to be buried beneath Los Angeles. Now, with this strange object in Antarctica, some theorize that the continent could hold more secrets, perhaps even pyramids that are not only ancient but could be linked to extraterrestrial influences.
It would probably be the oldest pyramid on our planet, and in fact it might be the master pyramid that all the other pyramids on planet Earth were designed to look like.
Bismuth mystery. In June of 1996, researchers from the University of Michigan made an astonishing discovery when they analyzed some unusual samples using a scanning electron microscope and spectrometry. What they found was unlike anything they had encountered before. What struck them as even more bizarre was the alternating pattern of layers that seemed to defy all known principles of material science.
When you go to a scanning electron microscope and you see that the black side, it's pure bismuth, and it's 1 to 4 microns, which is about half the size of a blood cell. And then it's alternating, just like a torte cake. Yeah.
After careful examination, they found that combining bismuth and magnesium in such a precise manner should be impossible, as the materials would naturally separate. This left the researchers with only one conclusion: the material was created using technology far beyond our current capabilities.
This had to have been manufactured by some kind of an advanced technology, and he didn't know what that would be.
Metal fragments. Fragments of metal, some as small as 1/10,000th of an inch, were sent to the Russian Academy of Sciences for analysis. What they discovered was extraordinary. The fragments, made from rare metals, were not naturally occurring. Some were identified as metals used in spacecraft and missiles, while others were spiral-shaped, indicating a level of nanotechnology far beyond current human capabilities. The more they studied, the more they realized that they might be witnessing the remnants of something far more advanced than anything humanity has ever known.
What we're seeing here is proof that someone had advanced technology sufficient to build the type of circuitry that we normally only see in semiconductors.
Open discussion.
So this one here, we call the UFO glyph, and people have called that since they've been coming here because it kind of looks like a UFO.
It definitely has the classic UFO shape.
In 2016, an archaeologist made a surprising remark while visiting a remote site. He confirmed that the discovery could be Proto-Egyptian in origin, with symbols dating back about 4,600 years. Among the hieroglyphs, one stood out, a symbol resembling a flying saucer known as the UFO glyph. This glyph features the classic flying saucer shape, complete with rays, sparking fascination. While some skeptics argue it could be jewelry, its design doesn't quite fit with the other symbols, leaving many to wonder if it represents something more mysterious.
I think someone suggested it's jewelry, but it's a completely different symbol that's upside down, and it really doesn't quite fit in. It's one of those symbols here that doesn't fit into the canon.
Thank you very much for watching the video. Share in the comments, and do like the video and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.